I am really excited, and I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win. And I really do think that with the group that we have, that we are going to win. We are going to get a championship sooner.
Sophie Cunningham sits down for her first interview with the Indiana Fever, as her jersey has already sold out worldwide. Looking directly into the camera, the veteran confidently declares, "I think we are going to win a championship." Her bold statement has Fever fans cheering, and Caitlin Clark's critics scramble.
This opportunity came about when I first heard about it. I was so excited. Like I just knew that it was my time to get outside my comfort zone.
When Sheryl Swoopes boldly claimed that nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark. Well, that narrative just got shattered into a million pieces. Swoopes stood before the basketball world and declared with absolute certainty that stars would be fleeing Indiana like it was on fire. She proclaimed, "Nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark," as if she had personally polled every player in the league. Her statement echoed across social media and sports talk shows, quickly becoming a rallying cry for the anti-Clark crowd. But now reality is proving otherwise.
I just kind of heard what they were doing, and of course you have Caitlin, who's drawn eyes from all around the world. That was like, why would I not? Why not be a part of something great? You go from Diana, and now you're going to a team who is going to be a contender for a championship. And so I'm stoked about this year. I'm really excited for the players, but I'm also excited just for the community and the relationship and the culture that you guys have here.
But here's where reality comes crashing in. While Swoopes was busy making those claims, the Indiana Fever front office was quietly assembling what might be one of the most impressive off-season rosters in recent memory. They didn't just add one veteran star, they brought in an entire constellation of them, all with significant playoff experience. Natasha Howard, a multi-time champion with elite defensive skills. DeWanna Bonner, a proven scorer and leader. Sydney Coulson, a seasoned guard adding depth and experience to the backcourt. And then came Sophie Cunningham. The message is clear. Not only do players want to play with Caitlin Clark, they're lining up to do it.
They do, peeps. Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
When Sophie Cunningham sat down for her first interview with the Indiana Fever, her excitement radiated through the screen. This wasn't a player reluctantly joining a team or dreading the idea of playing alongside the phenom that is Caitlin Clark. Instead, Cunningham's enthusiasm was undeniable as she passionately explained exactly why she chose Indiana.
We're going to be a phenomenal group. I'm excited for all the other pieces that came in this offseason with me. And so when I really see what I can do here, I'm confident in that, but I really am just excited for the big picture of what everyone brings to this team.
Play was a perfect fit for Cunningham, aligning seamlessly with her strengths as a player. She didn't hesitate, waver, or hold back. She fully embraced everything about her new team, including the opportunity to play alongside Caitlin Clark. For anyone paying attention, this was the clearest possible contradiction to Swoopes' claims.
The style of play that you guys are playing here, that Stephanie is going to bring here, it's run and gun, it's shooters, it's a motion offense, and so my eyes lit up like a Christmas tree.
This even more remarkable is how fans responded. Almost immediately after her arrival was announced, Cunningham's jersey sold out. Concrete proof that this isn't just about players wanting to be part of Indiana's revolution. Fans are all in too, embracing these new additions to what's quickly becoming the Clark-led squad.
I played in a motion offense my whole life outside of kind of Phoenix. You know, it was more one-on-one and let people do their thing, and if you're open, you're open. Where I like to move, I like to run, I like to dribble and kick, you know what I mean? And so when you see Caitlin, when you see Aaliyah Boston, she's a great passer. Kelsey Mitchell's a great passer, that if you move and you make the great cut, you're going to get the ball. And I think that just helps everybody, free up. And so I like to run. I kind of get the name Forrest Gump sometimes, and I'm like, hey, if you guys want to call me, that's fine. I'll beat you down the court every time. But I really am just excited for the style of play and what I can bring to the table for this team.
The most telling moment came when Cunningham addressed her motivation directly. "I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win." With that single statement, she demolished the entire anti-Clark narrative. The idea that players would avoid Indiana for fear of being overshadowed. Complete fiction. Cunningham's words made it clear this team isn't running from the spotlight. They're running toward a championship.
I really am just excited about not only what I can bring to the table, but as a whole, our versatility as a team is going to be huge.
Cunningham made one thing clear. Serious players, championship caliber players, see something special building in Indiana. They see a young superstar in Caitlin Clark, a generational talent. They see Aaliyah Boston developing into a dominant force. They see Kelsey Mitchell's elite scoring ability. They see Lexi Hull's relentless hustle. They see an opportunity to create something great. This wasn't a reluctant arrival. This wasn't a player simply making the best of a bad situation. This was an accomplished veteran, thrilled to join the Fever, praising her new teammates, and boldly setting championship expectations in her very first interview.
Being here, I've already been motivated. Like, I know this is a new, fresh start. I'm not in a box anymore. Like, I can finally be free and be in an offense that I think that I can really thrive in and be around players who our mind is strictly on basketball and winning. So I'm just re-motivated. I'm refocused. I feel like I'm back, to be honest. I got a nice tan and that always makes me feel good too. And so being here, honestly, it just makes me want to work even harder than what I've been doing.
Cunningham talks about Indiana. She doesn't sound like someone who was forced into a situation. She sounds like someone who has found her basketball home. A place where her skills, her personality, and her championship ambitions align perfectly. And while Cunningham found the perfect fit in Indiana, Caitlin Clark found something she desperately needed last season. A bodyguard. Remember all those cheap shots Clark took as a rookie, with little to no response from her teammates? The Kennedy Carter incident with the Chicago Sky was just the tip of the iceberg. It felt like open season on the league's brightest star.
I am just so excited to be here. I'm from the Midwest, and so for me to kind of get back to my roots and be close to my family, I'm so excited. Like, when I say that I am refreshed and I am motivated and I just like kind of feel like my spark is back. Everyone thinks I've been feisty. You've not even seen the feisty side of me yet, so this should be really fun. But for me, I'm excited to be closer to home. I'm excited to deep dive into the community of Indiana. I've already met a lot of really cool people. I'm excited to inspire the next generation of young boys and girls around here, get to know the community more.
Throughout her rookie season, Caitlin Clark repeatedly picked herself up off the hardwood after hard fouls, flagrant contact, and unnecessary physicality. Opponents quickly realized there was no enforcer stepping in to make them pay for targeting. Indiana's franchise player, the Fever, full of young talent but lacking veteran toughness, could only watch as their superstar endured collision after collision.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA's most notorious agitator, and exactly what Caitlin Clark has been missing. Cunningham isn't just coming to Indiana to shoot threes. She's bringing her reputation as one of the league's fiercest competitors, someone who won't hesitate to get in an opponent's face. When Sophie calls herself sassy on the court, that's putting it mildly. Opposing players know exactly what they're getting. A relentless competitor who thrives on confrontation and protects her teammates like family.
I'm a little bit sassy sometimes, which people don't like, but I love. My teammates always love. And to be honest, I spread the court. Like, I can shoot the ball. And when you have playmakers who are quick, who are great passers with Kelsey Mitchell too, it lets them do their thing. And then the defense draws in and you're just ready to shoot. And so, I think that I'll bring a lot to this team. But at the end of the day, I want to be a good leader. I want to be a great teammate. I want to bring the culture piece and make sure our egos are put aside and that we're all in here to win. And I think that's going to be pretty easy with the group that we have.
Going to stick up for my teammates, Cunningham declared in her first Indiana interview. I'm a fierce competitor. I want to win and I hate to lose. That mindset changes everything. The Fever are no longer just an exciting young team. They're a team opponents will think twice about messing with.
I'm just excited to kind of maybe be that calm piece when it needs to be calm, that feisty, sassy, stick up for my teammates when it needs to be that. And so just kind of reading the room and, whatever the team needs that day, being able to provide.
What makes Cunningham the perfect protector for Caitlin Clark isn't just her willingness to defend teammates. It's her relentless motor. She even nicknamed herself Forrest Gump because of how she outworks and literally outruns opponents on both ends of the floor. When Clark is pushing the break, Cunningham won't just be trailing as a shooting option, she'll be right there beside her, a physical presence ready to challenge anyone who tries to slow down Indiana's offensive engine.
When it comes to being on the court, I really am. I'm spicy, I'm fiery, I'm the ultimate competitor, and I'm really just trying to do whatever it takes for my team to win. A lot of people have a lot to say about it, but honestly, any teammate that you've asked that maybe had opinions about me before, once we're teammates, like, oh, like, we love you as a team. I'm like, duh, I'm not a mean person. But to be honest, I think that it could be a game changer. You know what I mean? And I'm going to hit my threes. I'm going to do all that. But just from a young age, my parents were like, go be the hardest worker. Don't let anyone outwork you, but also enjoy it. Like, you work your tail off. So when it's time to play a game, go laugh, go smile, go yell if you want to, go be passionate.
Cunningham's basketball education came from the WNBA's ultimate competitor, Diana Taurasi. During her time in Phoenix, Cunningham absorbed lessons in toughness that can't be taught in practice drills. Taurasi showed her that a championship mentality requires more than just skill. It demands an edge, the willingness to do whatever it takes to win, even if that means getting under an opponent's skin or taking a hard foul to send a message. Now, Cunningham is bringing that mindset to Indiana.
I learned so much out in Phoenix. I was really blessed to have some really great teammates. You get to learn from the GOAT, Diana Taurasi. You've had a lot of people going in and out of that program. They've won championships, and so there's just a lot to learn. And
what truly sets Cunningham apart is her defensive versatility. At 6'1", with quick feet and a high basketball IQ, she can legitimately guard positions 1 through 4. This gives Indiana a huge defensive advantage, allowing them to switch freely without creating mismatches. When opponents try setting screens to force Clark into tough defensive assignments, Cunningham can seamlessly take on the more dangerous matchup, protecting Clark from the physical toll of guarding bigger, stronger players.
We'll say I'm 3-and-D, which I've never really considered myself a defensive player, but I think the past couple of years, I've been able to get my body right. I've been able to bang down low and hold my own. And so I just think when you can get players who are versatile on not only the offensive end, but the defensive end, that's where you win your championships. That's where you make a statement. And so I'm excited to kind of get down and start working hard on the defensive end. I think as a team, we all have to kind of have that mentality, especially if we're trying to get to where we want to go.
Didn't just add shooting when they acquired Sophie Cunningham, they addressed their biggest vulnerability from last season. The days of teams freely taking shots at Caitlin Clark are over. The first time an opponent tries a cheap shot this season, they won't just be dealing with Clark. They'll be face-to-face with a player who has built her career on never backing down from anyone.
Length causes some issues sometimes. With the bigger people, I can get into their knees just because I kind of have that strength. But for me, I think that's an area where I could actually improve on. Like, it's funny to me that people are like, oh, she can play some defense. I'm like, oh, I mean, I struggle with that. I know Stephanie White's going to be on me about, getting better in that area. But for me, that's an exciting thing. A big shot is a great energizer. A great pass is a great energizer. But when you can get 3 stops in a row and you get the crowd into it and you frustrate the other team, like, that's the type of stuff that I like.
Sharp basketball systems. She was pulling back the curtain on what seems to have been a fractured Phoenix Mercury locker room, one that may have been holding her back more than anyone realized.
Okay to be a girl, but also go out there and kind of have a feisty mentality, and it's okay to sweat and it's okay to yell and kind of, have that grit about you. And so I've never had to try. It's just kind of who I am. And so I'm excited to kind of bring that energy to this arena.